everyone. Today I have a journal to share that is, it's got lots of blues and greens and birds and butterflies and flowers. I guess I haven't really thought of a name for its theme yet. And here it is, and it is made, the cover is cardstock, printed cardstock from this stack here, the DCWV Juniper Berry stack. And I've used lots of papers on the inside as well from that. And then some of the papers on the inside that are just scrapbook paper are from this, the Paper Studio, Kirby Teasdale Studio. I found that at a Hobby Lobby that I went to one time. Beautiful papers. So, on the outs, I've done some stitching. I've taken two pieces of cardstock and adhered them together. Oops, I'm totally out of frame here. Let me pay attention to this. See if I can move this. No, I can't move that down. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try to reach my arms around this tripod. Anyway, I've adhered them with double stick tape. The closure is just this elastic cording that I've doubled around it, and then I've covered the stitching with some lace. And on the back here, this is the scrapbook, and I've stitched all around just to reinforce it and to it's kind of got a patchwork look, so I was going with that. These are some vintage laces and trims here that I've glued onto the cover. Inside, let's see if I can move this a little. I've got a little box of chocolate back here to hold my my journal up. So, inside I have taken an X-Acto knife and slit this pocket here, and that is a card from Cameo Shoppe, printable. Got a few things from Cameo Shoppe in here. These here are Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and gessoed on the back because that was a misprint there. This is from the paper stack, and then there's some book page behind that I've made that pocket out of. And this is from the paper stack, the Juniper Berry one. And it's a thick cardstock, that's why I didn't use it a lot in here. I've done stamping throughout. And this is the Kirby Teasdale paper. And I've punched corners. I've done washi tape. So you'll see all those in here. This was just some ledger paper. And here is a scrap from the paper stack that I've stamped on and distressed the edges. I believe I did tea dye on the papers, and I did really hot. If you start out with really hot tea or coffee, sometimes you get a different look than if it was cold. And I like those kind of cloud patterns. It seems like the hot tea does that better. Anyway, this is just a scrap of scrapbook paper that I had from years and years ago, and it was blue and green, and that's kind of the theme I was going with. Here's another Cameo Shoppe, and I've done a belly band here with this flower. There. The flower is cut out from one of the papers. Actually, it's from the paper that cream-colored scrap was from, and I fussy cut out some of the flowers and used them here as tucks here and there. This butterfly, I can't remember where that's from. Here is an interesting thing I made here. I made this, tiny little envelope out of some vellum paper, and I stamped on there. And this is a journaling card that I've cut down to fit the envelope. So I really enjoyed that. And then I've got an altered paper clip here. And this piece of paper here was really interesting. I found this at my local thrift store. It is, there's some, not washi, but whatever that stuff is called, the adhesive ribbon stuff. It's not ribbon, it's glittery tape. This is like a test-taking scan paper. It says on the other half what it's called, Scantron or something, I can't remember. Oh, and then this is an altered playing card, a tiny one. And I had some fun decoupaging book, pages, and napkins on that. And Cheryl, who is Deli Girl 1961, I believe, on YouTube, was the inspiration for some of that, and how I sanded down the playing card. That was her advice, and it worked really well. Here's another one of those fussy cut sections, and I believe this is also Cameo Shop. Some more paper from a pad, stamping. These cards, I shared them in a previous video. I don't recall their brand name at the moment. And then I've done these tags. These are also the DCWV stack. This here is Ephemera's Vintage Garden butterfly paper clip. Just a tag I cut out of scrap. I'm gonna have to arrange my camera differently next time. I don't know what I was thinking because I'm like reaching around the tripod and it's crazy. And I don't think I've done that before. Oh, and on these thicker papers, this spraying is, there might be some coffee spraying, but I think it's mostly like Tattered Angels spray. Here's another scrap, a very old scrap from my stash. This doily I just left undone. Again, I think that was the inspiration from Cheryl, and it flips up on this side. And on this side it's tacked down, and tuck this Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This here is also Ephemera's Vintage Garden. It is from the Butterfly Kisses journal kit that I have. This is Kirby Tea still. Some more washi, stamping. These journaling cards I found, they're vellum, and I've stamped on it. I found those at Tuesday morning. But, you know, seeing them, I was like, this is a really cool idea, taking a paper scrap and a small die cut and just stitching it on. I think I'll try to do that on my own too. Here's an envelope I've made out of that thick cardstock, and I fussy cut this birdie out to hold the flap of the envelope shut. This is some scrap origami size paper, another scrap that I've stamped on, and that was from my stash, that blue scrap there from a little paper stack that has been in the stash for a long time. This flips open, more stamping. This is beautiful paper, that Kirby Teasdale. These are fabric washi. Picked those up at Michael's, some beautiful flower patterns. I love the feel of them too. They seem to adhere a little bit better than regular washi too, but then that probably means they don't come off as well either. So here's some more fussy cutting tuck, and another one of those vellum journal cards. And I think you can write on it because I'm pretty sure it's vellum, so it's like a scrapbook paper. I have not tested that theory out though. Another journal card from Butterfly Kisses. This is a snug spot here. And I like those check boxes. This little card here is from Cameo Shop. Tag. And another one of those definition one. Well, it's not really a definition, is it? Anyway. Stamping. This is the fabric type of washi also. And these adhesive lace here. I've done some stamping on these sides. This was a scrap Ephemera's Vintage Garden that printed out badly a long time ago, and I still have a bunch of them. They're just too pretty to throw out, but they've got this line of unprinted, you know, messed up part. So I used the adhesive lace to cover up that, and I backed it to, I had printed it out on some kind of thin photo paper, so I backed it onto this scrap of scrapbook paper to give it some more weight. Another card from Butterfly Kisses, and stamping there. This one's Cameo Shop, and it's tucked into that fussy cut. More fabric washi. Here's the other side of that. Testing paper. Scantron for use on test scoring machine only, and of course in junk journals, if you want to get creative. And it just, I don't know, brings back memories of some of those tests you had to take in high school, and I thought it was unique and interesting, so I picked it up and put it in here. Some more butterfly washi. Here's some more Cameo Shop tag. More washi. Here is another altered playing card, and it has on it a Bible page from a French Bible that was falling apart, and I've been using the pages for decoupage now. And it has some music tissue paper and napkin and some stamping. And on the other side, you can almost tell it's the Queen of Spades. And I think I did distress paint on that, if I remember correctly. And probably gesso and sanding and other things. On the back, I have a page, not a page, a pocket I've made out of book page and some more of that scrapbook paper. This is Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and another of my long overdue scrapbook papers from my stash. And I have just used a cool 3D sticker that I got at the dollar store, and I stuck it onto some scrapbook paper to cover up the top part with the sticky. I love how that turned out. I really like those stickers, you know. Some of the things at the dollar store aren't the highest quality, but these are really great. So there you go. That is my latest journal. And I guess that's all I have to say. I'm going to take some photos of it and put it on the Facebook group, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day and enjoy this little video of my latest journal. Bye!